My name is Steven Epp, and I'm an actor. What can I say? That's all I got. I went to Gustavus Adolphus College, where I studied theater. And since I was out of college, I've been working in Minneapolis. And most of that time has been spent working at Theater de la Jeune. I was there for 25 years. The closing of Jeune Lune has been a heartbreaking, really unfortunate occurrence. I have been fortunate to continue to work with a number of the people that I was working with at Jeune Lune, and Bradley's one of them.
Steven Epp and I have known each other for 16 years. In addition to working together on stage, we also wrote some things together for some of the projects.
Bradley and I go back to 1994, which was the first show we did together. He did a production of Don Juan Giovanni that we did at Jeune Lune, which was a mashup of Moliere's Don Juan and Mozart's Don Giovanni. And
Steve and I probably worked on 10, 12 different productions at Jeune Lune together over those years. He's one of my cherished colleagues.
Who is that woman? Why, that's Lady Hillcrest. I mean, that's the lost Lady Hillcrest. She was very beautiful, wasn't she? There'll never be another woman who's her equal. Oh, I beg your pardon.
Watching day after day Steve in rehearsal, I realized that as an actor, he used the range of his voice so technically thoroughly that I was enthralled by that. A lot of singers would kill to have all the colors that Steven Epp has in his voice.
This show is called The Mystery of Irma Vep, and it is this sort of little nugget of a piece that comes from Charles Ludlam and the Ridiculous Theater Company. You know, it's like one of those old melodrama horror movies almost, you know. It's a lord who has recently remarried, and the old wife seems to be haunting the place. And then there are some servants that are both sort of benign and charming and a little bit freaky and scary, and you're not quite sure what's going on with anybody and who's after who and who's the victim and who's the perpetrator. And then some vampires start to show up, and then eventually people start turning into werewolves, and there's a trip to Egypt in there. In a way, it's a perfect show for the jungle. The jungle's so much like a downtown New York theater.
We're about 4 days from opening night. And this afternoon, we're going to be stepping onto the stage to run the show, hopefully without stopping, for the first time.
Predominantly, I go back and forth between two characters, the maid, Jane, and Lord Edgar. And Jane is an Irish gal, and she talks a bit like that, and she's actually quite evil, and she turns out to be the one who pretty much has done everyone off.
How do you like your meat, miss?
Well done.
No red meat.
Not for me.
See, there's another difference. Miss Irma liked it bloody.
It's that level of theatricality that when you take it in any direction, whether it's toward tragedy or towards comedy, that's where you're trying to go. And what's most beautiful usually is when the two coexist. They're just right next to each other.
This play was written by Charles Ludlam in order to capitalize on the old technique of the quick change. The vaudeville device of, through sleight of hand and timing and trick costuming, exiting in one direction and then appearing to almost simultaneously show up completely re-wardrobed, wigged, in the space of a few seconds.
What's them shots I heard? Jane! Yes, Lady Enid.
We have 5 people backstage helping us make the changes. Because you're literally walking off and people are ripping clothes off you and pulling wigs off your head and handing you something, and you draw on a mustache and giving you a thing and a coat, and boom, you're in the door. It's like learning choreography. It's not easy, and it takes a while, and there have been moments in rehearsal where you literally walk off stage and go, not a clue. Somebody pushed me in some direction. I don't know what's next.
And so the magic that's happening between the exit of one character and the entrance of your next character is quite spectacular.
In the earlier Junlun days, sort of like boot camp for learning to come up with a lot of different characters and find a lot of different aspects of yourself as an actor.
There are only 2 actors in the play, but I would estimate the number of costume changes in this show probably about 60 per actor.
There's a great tradition with magicians where you never reveal the magic trick, and I think the changes in the show are a bit like that.
She made me promise that I would always keep a flame burning before her picture.
What nonsense.
I tell you, she made me promise. Blow it out. I couldn't do that.
There's the great joy and trust that comes from so much time spent together on stage. So you just have this great history together, and that counts for everything. It makes all the difference.
Please, Enid, don't make me choose.
Do you love me?
How can you doubt it?
Then the choice is already made. Blow it out.
Dare I?
I find each character is a different challenge, and yet you sort of bring your own bag of tricks to each one. But I don't think I exist once the character's there. I mean, purely from an acting standpoint, there's the part of you who's listening to the audience, who's knowing that that light cue is there, the sound cue is right, your wig is on straight, that your fly's up, whatever. You know, there's a part of you that's paying attention to all those things constantly. And then there's the other part of you that is the character. And the character is the one who's present in the room. You're sort of back there just checking. You're like stage managing for her.
He's killed the wrong wolf.
He's constantly proposing new ideas in rehearsal. How this scene might go, how the character might behave, how to take something that's on the page and turn it into something that would only exist in this theater with these 2 actors.
I think the greatest thrill as an actor for me is once you have it so in you, you own it, you have the piece so at your fingertips, and then you can push it a little bit this way. The crowd is going crazy if it's a comedy, and so you're able to add or find one more thing, and those little payoff moments, those little surprises, those things in front of an audience, or when you can feel the room just go dead silence and they're right with you.